So, what is Ayurveda? Essentially, I would say Ayurveda is a way of life, and what that really means, it's a system, it's a whole way of living. Ayurveda is said to be a 5,000-year-old medicinal tradition. Some have said it's 20,000 years old. Some have said it's 10,000 years old. Nobody really knows, but it basically um, Ayurveda is probably one, if not the oldest form or system of medicine in the world. In today's language, we might talk about it as we might call it holistic health, and it involves essentially external treatments like massages. It involves internal medicines that you consume, and those medicines might be plant based. They might be certain dairy preparations, such as ghee, which is clarified butter. And there's various different concoctions that one would drink over the course of an Ayurvedic treatment. So these are internal medicines that are used for various purposes, such as stimulating digestion, cleansing the internal organs, etc. Another important part of Ayurveda is yoga. So yoga is essential to aiding both the body and the mind. So one of the objectives of yoga is if you get control of the mind, you get control of the body, essentially. And so yoga is an integral part of Ayurveda. And finally, nutrition. So these elements come together: a good diet, exercise, external body treatments, and internal medicines all combine together essentially to restore balance in the body.
Why is nutrition such an important aspect of an Ayurveda detox cure?
I think it's really about switching up our routine. We get used to certain foods that we like, that make us feel good. And Ayurveda is really about looking at foods that suit our body constitution. So each individual has a particular body constitution. That is the combination of doshas or energy systems within the body and how they're basically configured inside the body. So Ayurveda says that if you're of a particular dosha type, you should eat certain sorts of foods that are appropriate for that dosha type, and you should abstain or limit certain types of foods that aggravate your particular body constitution. So essentially, when you go to an Ayurveda resort, you'll be given a chart, a diet chart, to say eat more of these foods, eat less of these foods, and abstain completely from these foods. And that's essentially to aid your body in healing, in recovery, in dealing with a particular health ailment, such as pain in your back or in your neck or in your joints, or indigestion or heartburn or acidity, or any number of problems that we have. So there's a saying in Ayurveda, as there are in other traditional medicines, that the stomach is the home or the root of disease. And so Ayurveda really looks at putting in your body the right foods for your particular body constitution.
Okay, and what can one expect of a detox cure? How, in which phases does it exist?
So an Ayurvedic detox traditionally consists of four parts. One is preparation of the body, two is detoxification of the body, three is strengthening of the body, and four is balancing of the body. And it is generally a good practice to allow 1 week for each of these four phases of a detox process. Now, uh, most people today don't have 4 weeks to give for a detox. So this 4 week process is typically condensed. The first time I went through Ayurveda when I was 35 years old, I did it for 4 weeks, but I had broken it up. I had done it first for 12 days, then I came back a month later and did a week, and then I came back a few weeks later, several months later, and I did it for about 10 days. So over the course of a year or 6 months, I did a 4 week treatment. The ideal is that if you're going to do a detox for the first time, is that you do give it the time, 3 to 4 weeks, so that all of these different phases of an Ayurvedic detox can be addressed. And again, the purpose of that really is to balance or to address the imbalances in the body. And by restoring the body to balance, a lot of the issues that symptoms that we see, such as pain in particular parts of the body, or headaches, or issues that we experience in our day-to-day life, a lot of those will tend to subside.
Okay. Do you have to be a believer to make it work?
No, you don't have to believe it. In fact, I was a skeptic. I was someone who believed that, chiropractic was the only thing that could look after my back. I was addicted to my massage therapist. I had to go for a massage, 2 or 3 times a week just to maintain the pain. I had to lie on an ice pack every time I played hockey to really bring down the inflammation in my back. And I thought this was all normal. Um, and even the first time I went for Ayurveda, and I didn't feel that the massages were intense enough, that they were deep enough. And so I approached Ayurveda with a great deal of skepticism. But it was only when I went back after 12 days and started playing hockey again that I noticed that there was such a transformation from being able to play only once a week to being able to play 3 times a week and to be able to continuously run for like 2 hours. Was something I had only experienced back when I was in my prime, when I was in my late teens, early 20s. And so Ayurveda, in a way, made me feel 10 to 15 years younger and enabled me to play sports at an intensity that I enjoyed in my early youth.
Okay, there are a lot of Ayurveda universities right now. It is a real science. Can you explain a bit how it works, how you can become younger, pain-free, more balanced just by using nature's assets?
Yeah, I think it's really got to become a lifestyle. So when you do an Ayurvedic detox, you'll be given a lot of guidance as to certain foods that you should eat, certain foods you should abstain from. Things like yoga, to integrate yoga into your daily life, or at least a few times a week, to both bring emotional clarity, mental stability, as well as its many health benefits. So, increasing mobility, motion, flexibility in the body. And, you'll eventually learn through your own yoga practice to conquer and dissolve pain in the body through simply using your breath. Uh, and so, through Ayurveda, you're given a lot of tools that empower you to take care of your own health. And then there's aspects of using plant-based medicines. So you'll be given certain herbal medicines that will treat your particular condition on an ongoing long-term basis. So, for example, if you have back pain or neck pain or knee pain, you might be given a particular medicine to help you with those particular ailments. If you have a problem with digestion, you'll be given a particular herbal medicine that will help you with digestion. If you have issues with sleep, there are certain herbal medicines that are recommended to assist with sleep. Same thing goes with stress. So, whatever your particular ailment is, that's not going to be necessarily solved just by going for a 2 or 3 week treatment, but is really a long term process and a way of life. That is something that Ayurveda can help you to address, but in a way that doesn't create dependency. Like, for example, when I was into chiropractic, I needed to see a chiropractor at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, and I was completely dependent on my chiropractor for pain relief. Now I'm not dependent. I'm not dependent on any medicines. I'm not dependent on anything other than my yoga practice, which I don't have to do every day.